How you doing? My name is Pathosha Jeffrey, and I'm actually the assistant women's basketball coach here. I've been a women's basketball coach for almost 10 months, and my previous career was in information technology. This is actually my second career. My first career was in information technology, and that spanned over 20 years.
So you said you were in technology for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about how you dove into technology. I think that was a minute ago you shared that story with me, and I thought it was very unique because our engagement with technology, sometimes it comes from all different backgrounds. I know for me, we didn't really have a computer when I was younger growing up, but then when I got to college or end of high school, college age, we got the old dial-up computer in my house. I'm a little older, so it was like y'all don't know anything about that, do you? The whole dial-up, if you're on the computer, you can't be on the phone at the same time. Does anybody know about that? Raise your hand. Oh, who is that? All the adults. Okay, all right. So tell us a little bit about how you first connected to technology.
Okay. Well, like I said, I've been involved in technology for over 20 years. My introduction to technology was in high school, and my dad, we were fortunate to have a computer at the house. And my dad is an IT professional. He actually works at FedEx now. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. FedEx is headquartered in Memphis, Tennessee. And he had a computer, so one evening I went over to the computer and thought I would play on it. He wasn't at home, and I was like, well, let me see what this thing is all about. I touched it, and the screen went blank. I ran away from it and did not touch it again for about 3 more years, and I decided to get a degree with a computer emphasis because I did not know about computers. I always wanted my own business. My degree was in management information system. It's a business degree, and it has an emphasis in computers. So that's how I got started in the computer industry because I didn't know anything about it. I was afraid of it. I learned how to type. When I was going to school, they was teaching typewriting. Now they call it word processing, but I learned how to type on a typewriter.
What would you say was the most challenging thing for you when you got into technology and learning at that point, and then thinking about today with technology, how it's changed? What would you say is the most challenging thing with technology?
Okay. My background is on the web side, so that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. One of the biggest mistakes I made was the coding. I did not learn decoding. I got involved over 20 years ago, so my manager wanted me to learn more about coding, and I feared it. I feared coding because things are broken when I would learn. When you're coming up, you have to understand when I came up, there was no Google, there was no YouTube, there was no Amazon, there was no iPhone. There really wasn't, they weren't called Mac, they were just Apple computers at that time. So when I came up, you didn't have YouTube to learn about the coding. We didn't have those kind of applications that you're using now to learn about coding. We had a big, thick book, and probably not many pictures. So you had to read a lot of text to try to figure out coding. And so my manager wanted me to learn PHP, and I ran from it. I ran from PHP, and that was basically the basis of a lot of what web development is now. When I came about, web pages was just one page was a web page, 1 to 10, if that many. Now you have web pages that's thousands, websites that's thousands of pages out there. When I worked at the University of Memphis and I helped manage our web page, we had over 10,000 web pages in our website. So the coding was the most challenging. So what you're learning now is awesome for you because I didn't have the opportunity to learn like this. My manager would stick a thick book in front of me and say, hey, go for it.
So if you were in their position, learning about tech at this moment, creating apps and thinking about a career in technology, which I'm sure could range from one thing to the other, what advice would you give them as if you were talking to yourself sitting in their shoes?
Well, if I was starting in IT right now, I'd take advantage of Google. I would take advantage of YouTube because whatever you're thinking about, the problem you're trying to solve, I would Google it or go to YouTube and search it because pretty much there's a video out there that can help you, that can assist you with the process now. So especially if you're a visual learning like I am, I'm a visual. When I see someone else do it, I got it, I can do it. So take advantage of that. Ask questions. Keep practicing. You may make a mistake the first time. You may not get it the first time. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. That's what coding is about. It's going to be broken, and you have to figure it out. Maybe this will work. If that don't work, maybe that will work. If this don't work, maybe that'll work. That's what the coding and stuff is all about. Even in life, if this doesn't work, try that. If that doesn't work, try that. That's the advice I would give.
So what are you doing with technology in your life these days? Do you run from computers? Are you, now that you've left it to play basketball full time, do you have any desire to go back into technology?
I don't necessarily have a desire to go back into technology, but one thing that I did do, now my manager, he tried to get me to learn PHP. So years later, I tried to learn PHP. And in the process of trying to learn it, and back in Memphis, I ran basketball events, I ran leagues, I ran tournaments, and I used the website a lot. I used my web page. I had several web pages. I managed my web page, and what I did using PHP, I built an application for one of my leagues. And so what the young ladies, I created a page for each young lady that participated in my league, and it was a bio page, and we kept up with their stats. And so PHP was a database-driven website. I inputted the information into the database, and it presented on the web page. So in that way, even in basketball, I use technology in that way, using the language that my manager encouraged me to use many, many years ago.
Nice. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Thoughts? Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience and your thoughts about technology. Yes, give her a hand.
Thank you. Thank you.
And any ladies interested in playing basketball, that's what she does.
I'm seeing
All
that.
right.